Hey everybody, welcome back. Northernlion, The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. What more do you need? What more can you say? What you say? This is my improv exercise to start out every episode. Just rapid fire references as if, ooh, an Isaac run. Now we can get serious. Oda Ojbo. There's a lot of zeros in this one. You know what they say, 3 zeros makes 1 hero. Look at, think of a superhero who has 3 O's in his name. Thor. Alright, let's get going here. The last run was... I wish this item was better. The D6 is just so much cooler. Anyway, the last run was like... pretty close to a 10 out of 10. If it had more HP earlier, it would have been a 10 out of 10, but it was still like a super easy win by the time we got Judas' Shadow to pop. And it was nice because, again, I'm recording this one right after. Like, I'm still out of practice. I've been away from the game for a week, you know? Just because we had one run in which we succeeded while having 70 damage doesn't necessarily mean we're good to go here, all things considered, I would imagine. Anyway, so I'm hoping to keep things going here. I wish I had more, like, anecdotes. I really don't have more anecdotes from my time away, though. It was a domestic trip. I actually... it's a little embarrassing. But, what did I do with my time away? Well, you know, my parents mostly were hanging out. They had the week off as well, so they were just watching, like, a bunch of... They're really into these, like, Scandinavian, crime shows on Netflix. And I'm not against it, you know? It's oftentimes very good. Like, we watched this Swedish movie called A Man Called Ove. And I did implicitly say it in that voice for some reason, which I apologize for. Which is not a crime movie, but I was like, this is good. This was a good movie I never would have seen were it not for their influence. They were, like, watching a lot of those. And I was like, I don't really want to watch, you know, like 12 episodes a case. So instead, I spent a lot of time just kind of programming. As lame as that might sound to you, to go on vacation and then... you know, spend a lot of time writing code. That's basically what happened. And I wrote, like, it's bad. I want to put that out there. And it may or may not ever see the light of day. But it is actually technically probably releasable. I made a game with the name TomoQuest. Using, you know, prolific use of free assets from the Unity Asset Store. Just basically like a really rudimentary endless runner that took me an embarrassingly long time to cobble together, and it doesn't like look or play that well, but my god, it actually, first off, runs on my phone, which is a huge milestone for me. I've never deployed anything to my own phone before and then been able to play it and then show it to people. Just be like, hey, check this out. I made this. They're like, it's good. And I'm like, no, it's not. But you don't understand. This is an important step to be able to do that. And then also, like, it just works. It has like a UI. You can use buttons to navigate to the mode you want to play, and then you can play it, and then you can hit restart and continue to play it. It's got a high score list. I wrote myself, despite the fact that you should never do that. Surely there's plugins that can just do that for you, and instead I'm, you know, writing my own lists in the background every time you finish a run and get a score. Oh my god, this is, like, make me work for it a little bit here. So yeah, I don't know if that's ever gonna, like, come out. People are very nice. People go, I want to play it. You don't know anything about it, you shill. I don't mean to be rude, but it's bad. If I got a code for TomoQuest in my email and had no personal connection to it, I would make fun of it. I would be like, and, you know, maybe that reflects poorly on me in the first place, but it's bad. But it's possible that, you know, with a little bit of polish, I could be convinced, and in this case, it really is just a little bit of polish, because it's not like it's gonna make it a 10. It'll make it like a 1, and that maybe is good enough. I might release it for free on, you know, an itch.io page or something like that. We'll see. It really would only be interesting to play as a curiosity, but yeah, that was pretty much like half of how I spent my vacation there. It wasn't intentional. It wasn't like I went into the vacation being like, I'm gonna make a game. I just sort of, like, you know, on Monday, I guess it was Yeah, it was Monday. On Monday, I just sort of got a legal pad and some paper and was like, you know, what kind of projects could I work on here for a few days just to pass the time? And then, you know, I sketched out an idea, and then I made it work. And then at the end of like 2 days, it was playable. And I was like, I might as well just, I'm still here. I might as well just keep trying to make it a little bit better. So, yeah, and it was also a great reminder that even like the worst games you've ever played, as long as they worked, like a lot of work went into them. Anyway. So that's, it'll happen. Perhaps at some point you'll see that. Either way, it's a milestone for me. So I'm kind of like nerdily like really pleased with myself. So this is a tough situation. We're in such a good spot regardless, but do you take Duality followed by Abaddon? That's probably like position A. Do you take Abaddon, reroll Duality, and then hope to get something else in the Duality slot that's a little better, even knowing you're going to have to play black hearts, or pay black hearts for it? Or do you reroll both of these? I think you probably go position A. I don't really like Duality that much, to be honest. Sinvicta and I disagree on many items. He told me Duality is like a 10 out of 10. I disagree with him. He's not, well, I mean, he might be wrong. But I hesitate to say he's wrong, because it's not like Sinvicta's like a 2 out of 10 Isaac player. You know, he's had triple-digit streaks as well. Just different play styles or different things you're looking for, I suppose. But I don't see it at all. He also told me Coupon is like a 10 out of 10 because it helps you get free deals with the devil. And I'm like, I don't see it, buddy. But I took his word for it for a while and ended up getting burned myself, I think, on just thinking that it was good. But again, different strokes for different folks. It's possible he overrates those. It's possible I underrate them. It's possible, perhaps, that both are happening at the same time. We are disparate individuals with our own tastes and preferences. As we head downwards here, I don't feel bad about this, because you're gonna be like, NL, these runs are too easy. It's like comical how easy they are. Yeah, but these are the perfect runs for being out of practice. Like, yeah, do we have an above average rate of fire? Maybe close to triple our usual damage for this point of the game, and 2020 as well, effectively doubling not only our rate of fire, but also the damage we do as well. Well, that one's mildly false. That's a spurious claim. Because I don't think 2020 doubles your rate of fire or damage. It sort of does, because the shots aren't far away, but it's probably more like, you know, 1.8 or something. But if you're talking integers and not floats, then okay, sure. Although, wait, if you cast a float as an integer, does it get truncated or rounded? That's like a job interview question. I don't know that one. All I know is the sound it makes when it takes a man's life. Okay. No, I don't want power pill. Puberty's fine. Question marks are irrelevant. You know what? Get out of your tower card. That's our new dumping ground in that room. So it is pretty much impossible for us to lose this run. It's also, I know that we've been having a lot of Isaac runs that have been very fast lately. And it's not my intention to be speeding through these. The problem becomes, you know, if your run is even like mildly glass cannony, you just can't fight Hush. And, you know, you probably don't want to fight Delirium, but you have to expect Delirium will not show up anyway, except in situations where it seems like you definitely shouldn't do it, thereby, you know, giving you the Sophie's choice of the whole situation. That was just god-awful damage. So it's kind of hard not to go fast when your stats are balling like this, is what I'm trying to say. But this floor, definitely, you know, we got 2 item rooms left, 1 shop. Keep an eye out for Steam sales. Shorty something, 1 shop. See, it's not a good reference to Nas. Nas. Can I tell you something? My parents are, and I'm lest this be seen, I know some people, you know, they didn't have great upbringings, or they have other reasons to disparage their parents. I'm not disparaging my parents at all. What I am, though, is mining their experience for humor, and I hope that if they ever saw this, they would feel the same way. But my parents are uniquely, just mildly out of touch technologically in ways that are hilarious to me. Let me explain. First off, I had to set up their wireless printer for them. That's, I think, a fairly common story. You know what I had to do? I had to enter the Wi-Fi password into the wireless printer. You know, no harm, no foul. They can both drive a stick shift and I can. But I just thought it was funny. I was like, have you entered your wireless password? And they're like, we don't know. And I was like, all right, I got like a 99% confidence that I can solve this problem for you. So that was nice, and it worked out. The other thing is, here's how my parents listen to music in the car. They have all their music loaded, like the car has a hard drive that it can play from for its stereo. What they do is they play the music alphabetically, starting at letter A, and then just going through the whole collection. I think I'd rather re-roll the library again. Going through the whole collection based on song name. So, you know, starts and it's like, you know, Alabama woman, Mississippi man. And I'm trying to think of songs at all. Basically, it took like 4 days for us to get from the A's to the B's. And then the second thing, I was like, this is a rudimentary. So at least have a playlist or, you know, play by artist or something. You're really going through your whole collection letter by letter. That's like a gargantuan task. But then they, and I don't blame them for this because, you know, I don't have a music collection. I just have Google Play Unlimited or whatever, which I think they should give us for free as YouTube partners. But I digress anyway. So the point, not that YouTube partner means anything in this day and age, I guess. But anyway, the point is, my music collection when I had one was disorganized as well. But they have duplicates, so it'll play like, you know, back in the USSR, and then it'll go into the next track and it'll be like dan 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 dan, and then you're like, oh, it's back in the USSR again, and then do it again, and it'll be like, okay, it's the third time it's back in the USSR, and then you'll hear dan 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 dan, and you're like, oh, this is back in the USSR live. So sometimes it would take like 4 or 5. Oh, this has got to be re-rolled. Ooh, baby, I love your way, but I'm gonna re-roll you anyway. Okay, yeah, that's more like it. Certainly, I will take the steamed sail. But yeah, you'd hear a song, and then you'd hear like the opening couple of bars of it many, many times in a row. I thought that was very funny. I didn't bring it up to them, because that's a problem that I don't want them to be aware of. If they're content with it, then that's cool. I don't want to be involved in the solution process for that, because it's going to be like, oh, what do you do? Oh, well, rip all the music out of your car, and then what you do is you're going to, like, you know, plug a USB drive into your computer, and you're only going to drag in, you know, like, unique songs, not duplicates, and, you know, just one day I will be there. I'm sort of already there to the extent that I only listen to, like, 2 albums. And for a while, I would do that, like, I would go to YouTube. Like, YouTube, Brian Eno's Ambient 1, music for airports, you know? I didn't say it out loud because I'm not 100, but... What do we got here? But my parents, they have, crossed... I realize I'm talking a lot about my parents in these episodes, but I hope that it's, like... You know, it's mineable for humor in a way that's inoffensive, but also uplifting in many ways. You know, a good tale of the domestic situation gone right. Is that another puberty? You know, it's 48-hour energy. So good if I can find our library again on this Curse of the Lost, or Amnesia. When I was a kid, and a lot of people I'm assuming that are around the same age as me and a little bit older, I guess, will be able to relate to this. Not worth it. Worth it, although anything that gets hit is probably going to die anyway. Oh, so worth it. Anyway, the way you used to get movies is you go to a video rental store, like a Blockbuster or a Jumbo Video. By the way, in my hometown, there were many Blockbusters. One of them has been rented out and has become something else. The other one has been out of business since like 2008 and has not become anything else. Still just a weird old Blockbuster with like the reels on the windows and stuff like that. But anyway, you'd go to the video store. Your parents are paying the bills, so they're in charge of picking most of the movies. At least that's the way it worked in my house. How do they choose what movie to watch? I don't know about you guys. My parents would, like, look at the cover of a movie and then be like, this looks good enough to read the back. Oh, yeah, don't even pick up the spirit art. What good could it be, right? And then they would read the back, and they'd be like, this sounds good. Now, you end up watching some movies that are actually good, you know? Probably that's how we saw Sling Blade or something like that. And Sling Blade is a great film. We also ended up watching like a lot of trash. And to their credit, they stuck with that style for a long time, you know? Even they would be on Netflix as of a few years ago, and they would be like, we're gonna like just look at the descriptions of things and see if they're good. And then, you know, as a hipster, effectively, I was like, you know, this isn't a good idea. You should really look at the adjusted Metascore. But anyway, you should go to dangiesling.com/movies and see what everybody's favorite Big Brother contestant thought of it. But no, now they, I'm obviously going to take the luck upgrade, even at the cost of the Spirit Heart loss, but now they look stuff up on Netflix on their TV, because they have a smart TV, which I'll admit that I don't even really know what that means. It's a TV with apps, I guess. It's strange to me, which means that I'm 100. But anyway, they... 2 Steam sales. That's the dream right there. Now we really want to go to the Hush fight. They find something that looks good on Netflix, and then they look it up on Rotten Tomatoes. Which I know not everybody... Man, we got all the damage multipliers, and they're all... I mean, after the first one, they're not that good. I understand people have a problem with Rotten Tomatoes. Trust me, I understand that it's not, you know, if something gets 100%, it's the greatest movie ever made. It just means it's very likable at a minimum. But it's way better than just, like, looking at the box and being like, you know, oh, this movie's got Danny DeVito in it. I like that guy. Now, how the heck did we end up watching Seth MacFarlane's A Million Ways to Die in the West with this methodology? I don't know. It's got like a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. But I digress. That's a story for another day. So they're using the tools at their disposal. I don't have anything really more to say. You know what's funny is that you might think that I have like ooh, we got the adult transformation. You might think that I have like some sense of superiority, but I really don't, because I had to print something out. So, you know, if for 2 days I felt superior, like, oh, I'm still hip and with technology, I know how to install a wireless printer by putting in the Wi-Fi password. Like 3 days later, I was like, hey, Mom, can I use your printer? She was like, yeah, no problem. Which makes sense, because, I mean, what did I use? Like, you know, 20 cents worth of ink? But anyway, the point is, takes all kinds. You know, we all got something to offer here. I'll admit, I'm a little out of touch technologically speaking. I think I'm a little out of touch technologically speaking. Mostly because I'm on, like, a Canadian data plan. We don't get unlimited data up here, although it's starting to relax a little bit, which is nice. And it's not because we live in the frozen north. It's because, you know, we have, like, a telecommunications oligopoly that, you know, keeps the man, you know, with his fingers around our throats here. But, so, I guess the thing that's most related to my industry that I don't understand is IRL streaming. That is something where I'm like, I don't quite become the people who are like, why would anybody watch anybody play video games? You know, I don't get to that level. I'm more on the other side of I'm like, these, streamers, like, you gotta take some time to not be on camera. And I'm not telling you how to run your business, because you know your audience way better than I do. But at the same time, when people are like, hey, we're doing an IRL stream, it's me eating dinner at this, you know, Mexican restaurant out in town, I'm like, that scares me, dude. How long until, like, you live your whole life in the public eye? Like, I like the division of labor that we've got going on here. I make videos. I try to be entertaining in the videos, and I do the streams, of course. And, there's a strength card. We're not going to need that. Well, we need that more than Hagalaz. Use your brain for 2 seconds here. Okay. And I try to be entertaining, and then the video goes up, and, you know, you either like it or you don't like it, but, you know, that's that. And then I, you know, at some point, usually like a little later than my wife would like, stop working for the day, and I go, you know, take care of my household chores without a camera being on me and without, you know, being forced to be funny and stuff like that. Or to try to be funny, at least. And I like that. I admire the ability to Admire is not the right word. I cherish the ability to sometimes be away from the prying eyes of the internet, even if it is a futile endeavor. It's our 3rd Steam sale, so, I mean, I feel like we should try to re-roll it. We'll see if that comes to fruition. But, like, when people IRL stream, like, not everybody IRL streams, like, their whole life. Some people, they, you know, if you IRL stream, like, I hate saying that expression over and over, but if you IRL stream, like, 8 hours a day and then you got 8 hours off, that's different. But, you know, when you're like, hey, I'm going out with my friend to eat dinner, and then you stream it. I'm like, are you really eating dinner with your friend, or are you, like, making a product at that point? And how does that make you feel? I'm not saying you're, like, exploiting anybody. I'm just saying at the end of the day, like, don't you feel like you're trapped in some kind of, like, content prison of your own creation? And do you feel like you have to do it because of because, you know, that's the way to pay the bills? Or are you, like, you want to do it? Like, you want to live your whole life to this degree of, you know, a lack of any kind of anonymity, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. We're getting into some, this is, like, highly inside baseball at this point, but that's where I'm out of touch, I think. That and, like, to some extent, I don't understand Instagram. And I think that if you're a little younger than me, well, a little to a lot younger than me, as younger of me as you can be, you probably are just like, it's just like a photo sharing app. But, like, it's not just a photo sharing app, right? Like, there's a culture. Like, you can get, like, a lot of followers on Instagram just for having a nice butt, is my experience. It's not like that's not the case on YouTube. I mean, like, Lord knows I slept my way to the top. The top of the middle, at least. But, no, like, it's just, it's not that I don't get it, because, I mean, I get it. You know, butts have been a driving force in popularity for millions and millions of years, but it seems like there's a lot of, like, butt-related content coming from Instagram. Maybe that's ignorant of me. Maybe that's all I see is the butt-related content. Maybe that says something for me. Or says something about me, rather. I mean, there's some choices here. We didn't take the Halo of Flies, so I think we should not take... we didn't take the Attack Flies, so I think we should not take Halo of Flies, because Beelzebub is less likely to show up as a result anyway here. So instead I took Dark Bomb, and, I mean, we probably would have been safe to take Dark Bomb anyway, but it is also still very good. And we found a use for Strength here, in giving us a little bit of a leg up on the competition. So, like, I don't really... I'm just saying I don't get Instagram. That's about it. I sort of get it. But I don't know. I sort of, like, don't get Facebook anymore. Facebook, if you're a little on the younger side, and I've had to preface a lot of my conversations with that over the course of this episode, but, you know, I was a freshman in college when Facebook opened its doors to people that didn't just have EDU email addresses. So Facebook was still, like, new and fresh. You'd be at a party and you'd meet somebody and you would be like, I'm gonna add you on Facebook, and then you'd add them and you'd be like, oh my god, I know way too much about this person. This is awesome. And we're sharing photos and, like, you're clicking the like button. Well, I was alive for the, you know, the creation of the like button as well. The point is, like, at that point, we're like, this is awesome. It was, like, exactly the right age for Facebook to be popping off. And now, I only see two kinds of posts on my Facebook. The one kind of post is political, and I'm sure you're all experiencing those. Even whether you live in the U.S. or overseas, I promise you. You're seeing them. The other one is my friends and spouses of friends who have had babies just post, like, a lot of mommy stuff. Like, and I'm not saying in, like, the fetish sort of way, you sickos. Rather, you just are like, you won't believe this, you know, life hack that turns your crib into a full-service diaper changing station. And I'm like, there's a momfia, like El Coso Nostra on Facebook of moms sharing tips, and that's cool. People disparage that, and I'm disparaging it. Because, like, you know, I don't want to see that. But I can choose not to see that. You know, if you're posting pictures of your kids, I can be like, you know, unfollow or mute, whatever. It doesn't matter. But I think it's cool that, like, you know, if you're a young mom, you know, maybe you're like, well, if you're my age, you're like 28. Not all of your friends have babies at this point, and you got to spend a lot of time with your baby. That's the thing with babies; they're very selfish. Is there an exit to this? Oh, there's still this guy. There's a lot of time that goes into having a baby. You spend time at home. You're isolated. You want to cultivate a social network, even if it's only digitally. That's why I think that that's not so bad. You know, when people post the pictures of themselves, or they're like their parenting tips or something like that, it doesn't bother me that much. When I was like 23, I was a little smarmy about it. Yo, why did we pick up Mom's Eye, you idiot? You're like, I don't want to see this. People in my life that I used to be acquaintances with are having children, and I didn't sign up to this website to see children. It's an enormous inconvenience. Oh, waiter, my filet mignon is cold. You know, like, it's not that big of a deal. But at the time, I was maybe like a little smarmy about it. Great name for an out-of-touch rapper as well. A little smarmy. Hey, chicken or fish? I'll have the lobster, please. What is that voice, and can I do it again? I'll have the lobster, please. That's not quite the same. There was a unique sort of like Kermit the Froggishness in your voice the first time that I'd like to return to if possible. So with Mom's Eye, apparently we're shooting behind us every single time. So we gotta be very cautious about this. But Facebook basically sucks now. And I don't know, maybe it's like Facebook sucks when you're over the age of like 22. But it was kind of getting there, for sure. Because here's like the evolution of my Facebook network. Everybody at this point either posts mom stuff, political stuff, or they've stopped posting. But if you started at like age 18, it was like making events, going cool photo, posting on people's walls. Hey, what are you doing tonight? You know, come over to the quad. I don't think my school had a quad, but anyway, you get the idea. Then by like 20, it was like, graduation, by the way, I got a job offer at Ernst & Young, and you're like, okay, so that's cool, like, I want to know what you guys are up to. Then at like 22, it was like, just photos of people, like, in Bali. You know, they'd be like, oh, this is the life, and you're like, well, this is just becoming braggadocious. I haven't spoken to you in, 6 years, and now there's all these photos of you just, like, hanging out on the beach or something. Like, I'm not disparaging your ability to hang out on the beach. I'm just saying, like, I'm not sure I need to see these. And then it's like, I met the most beautiful man in the world. And you're like, oh, that's sweet. And then it's like mommy stuff or political stuff. If you've made the decision to not have children, maybe that's, I'm not going to risk going back for that. If you got something for me, let me know. If you've made the decision to not have children, you're posting political stuff, if you're posting at all. If you've made the decision to have children, you're posting mommy stuff, if you're posting anything at all. That's, ooh, a little spooky there. That's my Facebook experience in 2017. So I think we should take this and then hopefully get something amazing for free, which is exactly what flippin' happened there. So, like, that's pretty dope. Twitter is definitely like, what are we on? We're on Utero 1, so we could fight Mega Satan. I kind of want to reroll this into something cool, but I'll give myself the chance, at least, to fight Mega Satan. We definitely want to go fight Hush because everything's free. If we can have the HP necessary to swing it, at least. Twitter's the social network for me, because it's like a nihilist social network, where everything you post is... It's not so bad, actually. Everything you post is a satirical sort of thing, and also the subtext is like, we're all gonna die someday. It's like the most Hegelian social network out there, which appeals to me. I hate to do this, but I basically have to sit here and play this slot machine to get enough HP to survive the Hush fight. Holy Mantle's gonna help out a great deal, but we're probably gonna take a hit from our Ipecac on every single room, so the real goal is to just get through it like as quickly as possible. That's about it. don't have anything more to say about the situation than that. I mean, like, is there a more tired sort of conversation at this point in time than, hey, DAE, Facebook is bad? But, you know, we are Facebook, dude. We did it to ourselves. I kind of wanted to handle this in a slightly different way, but basically I wanted to use the sun cards that it made it possible for me to see the map, but also go check out, you know, possibly kill a room at the same time. So, unfortunately, we just ended up fighting enemies that don't die that easily. The problem with Facebook is that if you want to have an honest Facebook experience, there's only, like, 2 options. If you only post the good stuff, you're bragging. And I'm guilty of Facebook bragging in my younger days, for sure. You know, definitely when I went to Iceland, took a picture of my, like, media name tag and was like, just having a couple days in Iceland, you know, like, it's no big deal. Inside, I was like, this is the biggest deal. But if you only post the good stuff, you're bragging. And the only purpose of bragging is not to keep people posted, it's to make other people envious of you, which is a very base level bad look. But if you post everything, it's too much information. You know, if you put the good stuff up there, the mundane stuff, which is 99% of it, and then the good stuff as well. The good stuff, the bad stuff, and the mundane stuff. You're just going to be posting nonstop. Having a turkey salad sandwich today, and then nobody wants to see that. I guess the other use is you could put, like, song lyrics up there or something, but you'll get over that. I promise. Okay, so we should try to make the Hush fight. I just realized... That's fine, that's fine. Just realized I spent a lot of time in here, so let's go try to make that happen. We got the damage necessary to make it happen, so that's okay. Definitely, like, if you... like, I met people in college that were like, I don't have a Facebook. And you're like, wow, weird. Why would you not have a Facebook? It's like a social necessity to have a Facebook. Not like you're being a social butterfly necessarily, but just like that's how people get in touch and like have events and stuff like that. It's important. It sort of was at the time, as weird as that sounds in hindsight. But now, you know, people are like, I don't have a Facebook. I'm like, let's hang out. Like, can you give me your telephone number so we can have some conversations? Because it seems like you got your head screwed on straight. You mean you don't have to tell people you haven't seen in 12 years that you're going to Cabo San Lucas for a weekend? I didn't know that was in the social contract, that you could just opt out of that. You mean you don't have to share a post of a wine bottle-sized wine glass with the hashtag mommy goals just because you saw it on 9gag? I thought that was, like, written into the Constitution. So not a huge fan of this fight at this point, but we made it happen, and we, like, totally made it happen. Because we also managed to get oh, the door's gonna be closed, isn't it? Still, we made a sacrifice for what I would consider to be, like, a mildly okay cause. We got our deal with the devil. Or we got our deal with the angel, I should say. Yeah, that's a bummer. I mean, I missed it by 6 seconds. You mean I missed my major by a couple of seconds? So I'm in the shop class, or the basket weaving, with all the rest of them MFers underachieving, mother fathers underachieving. I was thinking, too, because, you know, while I was away, I went back to my high school. I have to say to present this award. And it might seem like I'm bragging, but really it's just because I'm a 28-year-old man, and if I just say, I went back to my high school, you'd be like, this guy's a freaking creep, right? No, I went back to my high school to present that award, and just thinking, like, what's it like to be graduating from high school in 2017? So I graduated from high school in 2006. So it's a big difference. You know, if you're graduating this year, I graduated when you were like 8. We're not super far off here. So I'm trying to keep myself, you know, relevant, but you know, they say like what the what the people are doing when they graduate. And this is just one sample size. First off, they're 17, 18, so who knows, right? They could be saying one thing, and then in 3 years, their life will be in a totally different situation, which is completely fine. But so many people, they're like, so-and-so graduated, they got the award in this, and then they're coming back to it's our 4th Steam sale. We didn't pick up our 3rd one, technically. But they're coming back to the high school next year. This person, you need a little bit more history, which is probably going to be not the most exciting thing, but basically, school runs from kindergarten until the 12th grade in Ontario. But it used to run until like 2002. It ran from kindergarten until the 13th grade. So you were 1 year older when you graduated from high school. So many students around that age chose to do what's known as a victory lap, where you return for a 5th year of high school, shore up your marks. I'm going to be honest with you. It's basically a good opportunity to have a part-time job, take whatever classes you wanted to take that you couldn't fit in, or classes you want to shore up your average a little bit before applying to post-secondary school or jobs, etc., etc. Probably like 15% of my graduating class did that. And I'm actually asking from a place of like, if you're in this age group, am I off base here? With the numbers, at least. It seemed like 50%, roughly. That is a pretty rough approximation. Were like, I'm going to take an extra year of high school before I choose what to do. And on the one hand, I'm like, that's good. Because you're 17, 18. To expect you to have an idea of what you want to do for the rest of your life is not plausible for everybody. I guess we're just going to fight. I do like the leprosy item. Dry Baby's wonderful. You know what? This is a horrible idea, but I kind of want to try it. Will you allow me to try this here? See, the thing with Sprinkler is that it's going to, shoot Ipecac shots that I'm going to have to dodge. Weird. No, I don't want those. We might be able to make something happen with that health upgrade pill. I'm gonna try it with the knowledge deep in my heart that I could easily die here. But I'm gonna put it up there and see how it goes. Just get ready to try to dodge some shots from time to time. Ah! But yeah, anyway, the point is, it's like unreasonable to expect an 18-year-old to know what they're gonna do with their lives. It's just, it's a ridiculous premise. You do have to choose at some point, but, that's pretty young. But, on the other hand, I was like, you gotta get out of here. You're just, not like you're delaying your career for another year, and I'm sure, like, when you leave the high school, many people, not everybody, obviously, but many people are gonna have, like, good memories of it. Dude, the Mom's Eye Sprinkler is so funny looking. But I was like, you guys, you gotta get out and experience the world. I guess you don't have to do it right now. You could wait until, you're legally able to, like, sign a document, but I was kind of surprised, because when I graduated, almost everybody was like, I'm out. Like, I gotta go to the big city, man. And by big city, I mean, a city that's slightly bigger, like Ottawa or something like that. I was just surprised that, I'm not sure if it's a generational thing or a one-off statistical, variance sort of situation or what, but it seems like at least the kids at my old high school are definitely way more open to just kind of hanging out for another year. Anyway, it's irrelevant in the end. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. And I'll see you next time.